All right, so it's a Pioneer log cabin, but we wanted the professional floor. This is the front porch here. We decided to start with the front porch, knowing mistakes would probably be made. As you can see, we notched out the first ones to slot it in, and then I decided to screw that. And we just kind of put joist hangers directly onto the logs, and I'll be putting in a couple extra screws because there's a tiny gap there. I would like it to hold a little bit better. I got 2.5-inch screws in there already. I'll throw in a couple 3-inchers. But most of them butted up pretty well on this side. Only a little off on this side. And then still, even though the top of our logs are level somehow the floor is a little lower on this side than on this side. But it's all level and square, I promise you that. We checked that a million billion times. And putting your joist hangers directly on the round logs like this, it was a bit of a fight. You had to certainly coerce it with a hammer, screws, depending on how tight you tighten something, twisting the board a little bit. You had to do some convincing to get it to do what you wanted it to. Then, I thought I'd start with that floor and then decide how that went and move on to the interior floor. So we put up one side wall log already. We were going to put up the second one, but decided that's going to make it really hard to work, and it's a good thing we didn't go ahead and do that. So went ahead, and these were really easy to notch out. They didn't come out all perfectly straight. That one did. I just went ahead and cut straight with a chainsaw and then bored straight through. That barely needed any cleanup. That came out really, really well. And then just put the joist hangers directly on top of it or butted up against it. Then for this side, I couldn't fit the chainsaw to go straight down boring through because of this wall log being in the way. So I just, with the chainsaw, did that, and I'm going to clean that up with a hammer and chisel. Still takes a good bit of coercing, tapping it around and everything to get everything square and level. But we got the ends of the joist level, we got the whole joist level, and we got it level with the other joists. One of our boards I think we bought was a little twisted. This one right here at the front. But other than that, other than a lot of coercing and a bit of cursing, it did it what we wanted it to do. We decided to go with just 2x4 since the interior space of the cabin's like 9 foot by like 8.5 is what it came out to, something like that. And then we'll put blocking in between it all. Did it all 16 on center. I'm told with 2x4s, if you're going to do that, you don't want to go any smaller anyway. And for the deck, we're going to do decking boards. For the interior of the cabin, I'm going to do a plywood floor and then probably some sort of vinyl or something covering over it. And the goal is to get the floor to land in between those two logs so that it serves as its own trim piece. And we still don't know if we're going to end up having a little gap right there because the crown of the log goes up. We don't know if there's going to be a little gap in the floor right there. And we don't know if there's going to be a little gap right here. It looks like the floor actually should come up and be able to butt under the other log too. And I even called in some professional help from a friend in the neighborhood, and he told me that, this is the best way to do it, and wherever it ends up being, you have to deal with that later. So we might have to cut in some trim pieces, might have to fill in a couple gaps. Not a huge ordeal. What am I missing? I don't think I'm leaving anything out. So that is how to do the log cabin floor. We, made sure the sill logs were level. And what we did too, that's right, for the longest time I was figuring out how the heck I'm supposed to get these all straight. And someone said they wanted to use a water level on another YouTube video, but it was too cold for him to use a water level. So he just used a chalk line and a 4-foot level and painstakingly made a chalk line to where all the bottom of the joist hangers go. So I know where all the bottom of my joist hangers go. You know, that was painstaking, but we did that. Double checked our work a million billion times. And then we got the first one where we wanted it to go, and then went ahead and got the board level with the where it is on the other sill log, got the whole beam level. Then we made a line underneath that joist, marked that's where the bottom of our joist hanger would go. Then we screwed it in, made sure our first joist was all level, square, and everything. And then we snapped a chalk line off of it. And then we're putting in every single joist one at a time. And I believe that is it for the floor. Any comments, questions, or concerns, I'll try to get back to you.